What's up, guys? You're welcome to Emacom TV, where we publish news on politics and entertainment. Alright, guys, I have a video clip here of an army general being grilled by ENDSARS lawyer over the Lekki shooting that actually saw the army being involved, though the army actually denied it, that they were not involved in it. But later on, as the case may be, they admitted that they were there but never used live ammunition, despite the fact that some persons have died as a result of the bullets that was actually shot at them. The army said that they never shot the bullet into the protester, that they only shot the bullet up. But how come most of them sustained bullet injury? We saw the DJ Switch, transmitted it out. She broadcasted it out on her Instagram, and it was not a joke, it was not a lie, it was live. So what do you guys think? I want to watch this video of how ENDSARS lawyer was able to make the army admit that the commander-in-chief was the one who deployed the army, that Buhari was aware of what happened. And you could even notice it that during the broadcast he gave, he did not make mention of the Lekki shooting, because he was the one who gave that order. So watch this video and see how ENDSARS lawyer was able to grill this general. And I bet you generals don't like being grilled like this, but just watch out and see how this general is being grilled by a lawyer. And you know, the army don't like too much intelligent people. They don't like you if you are too intelligent, if you know too much. And not to even talk about sitting them down on the hot seat and grilling them like this. Just watch and then you let me know what you actually think about this.
I showed you images.
No, I'm talking about my time. Let's not. That's not relevant here. Just to show that there are so many explanations for what happened. I, for instance, am convinced by a lot of things you have said. I'm now going to the issue of Lekki target itself. Now, when you deploy your personnel on operation, are they normally debriefed?
They are briefed.
Do they debrief them when they come back?
Is after.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, of course.
They are debriefed.
Because you use it for lessons learned.
Thank you very much. So that's where I'm going. You have confirmed here, sir, that your personnel actually goes to Lekki target, and that the interaction did not involve anything that would have been counted as breach of rule of engagement.
Yes.
And what you showed us here speaks to that. Now, I'm asking you, when you debrief them, was there a report of any fatality or casualty?
None.
So you can see we are not really fighting. I just want us to get the truth.
No, rather than that,
So my final question, sir. The phase 4, what do you call phase 4?
of the internal security operations.
Yes. What does it imply when you get to that stage? What does it imply in terms of deployment of armed forces? What does it mean?
Okay, I'll
when you get to that
phase
stage?
1 to 3. Phase 1 to 3 is basically observation, monitoring, training, and readiness for deployment.
So,
phase 4 is the actual deployment to especially hotspots, places that have problems, patrol, and things like that. We are currently in phase 4. We are currently in phase 4.
now, phase 4 call. Who makes that call? Is it a military decision or decision by a governor of the state? Who makes the call of that we are now at phase 4? Guys, boys, move.
Now, before phase 4 is activated,
Yes.
the governor will have sought permission or made a few calls or transmitted a letter to the president, or in this case, even to the chief of army staff. The governor indeed called even the chief of staff to the president.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, that stage of the governor is still part of phase 3. Because the decision that will come after that. No, please, let's get this clear. The decision of the government say, look, this thing is out of our hands. The police are overwhelmed. The threat is real. We need additional force. It then makes, it's a request. It's not a demand. It makes a request. Is that not so?
Yes.
And the governor, if Mr. President takes a decision whether that request as at that time was warranted. Is that not so? Is a call from Mr. President. Even if you send it to the chief of army staff, it still has to clear with Mr. President. You know, I've read the section of the Constitution about So when the governor, after a Security Council meeting on Monday 19th, at which I've explained to you who appeared, a decision was taken that the situation warranted a coffee. You have confirmed here that the governor tried to get Mr. President, and he also tried to get Chief of Army Staff. You have confirmed that?
I didn't say Mr. President. I know he spoke to the Chief of Staff,
the
President.
Okay.
He spoke to the Chief of Army Staff, and he spoke to the GOC 81 Division. Also, before then, he had spoken to the Commander 9 Brigade. But the Commander 9 Brigade does not have the power to deploy troops in that.
I'm very happy with what you are saying. Now, with all these calls, the governor has no preemptive power to impose his will on them. They have to assess it for their own professional judgment, whether his request makes sense or not. Am I right, sir? That's why he had to make the request. So this is the situation of ground, sir. Please, Chief of Staff to the President, let me inform the President, this is where we are. Chief of Army Staff, this is where we are. Then they take a decision after looking at it, supported by your intelligence, Security Council, everything, and say, look, it is necessary.
The governor is involved in that decision.
No. Please, don't, General, let's not dabble into politics and constitutionalism.
It is not politics.
Hold on, sir. I asked you before that when the president makes an order in terms of security in the state, the governor has no right to veto it. He must comply. I read that to you. Now what I'm saying is like this. The request to deploy armed forces by a governor is just what it is, a request. The decision, the call, whether that will be done, is left to Commander-in-Chief and his line officers. That should be simple, it's obvious.
What you are saying
is
that when the governor calls for intervention, he backs off.
No, I'm not. Of course, I'm not. No. I'm saying
that is what I understand.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he has to do that because he has no right of command over the forces he requires for security. So he goes to the higher authority and says, look, this is where we are. We need it. Then the authority then makes an informed judgment based on the facilities and intelligence, security reports, everything, whether it is necessary. Otherwise, don't want to go and alarm a community that is this and say there is problem and put military over the place. So what I'm saying is that the last stage for the government is to, after conferring with this Security Council, like this is a situation that warrants the army to come in, is to now make that request to the Commander-in-Chief. Because I've said now, he doesn't have line of command with any of your military personnel. He's a political appointee, and he only relates with the head of political authority, which is the president, who doubles as both military, Commander-in-Chief, and president of the country. So what I'm trying to find out from you is that if Mr. President considered that it was unnecessary for the military to be deployed that day, would the governor be in a position to direct him to go out? If you are aware of the government, no.
Obviously, no.
Thank you very much. My Lord, that is all for you.